Hi friends.
Hello.
My name is Andrew Katz.
And I'm Juliana Léveillé-Trudel.
And we are the authors of How to Catch a Bear Who Loves to Read. We know that you guys are at home and not able to go out as much, so we wanted to read you a story to help you pass the time a little bit. We have some friends with us here. Because we read this book, we've managed to catch some bears, attract some bear friends. See if you can see all the bears around us. There's some that are hidden a little bit further back. And if you're ready, let's start the story. Are you ready, Juliana?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. So, How to Catch a Bear Who Loves to Read. Juliana, do you have any idea how you would catch a bear who loves to read?
I don't know. I didn't even know bears love to read.
I didn't know that either, but maybe we'll figure it out if we read the book together. How would you guys catch a bear who loves to read?
Maybe Julia will give you some ideas.
Maybe Julia will give us some ideas. All right, let's have a look. So this is the forest where Julia lives, or she lives very close to the forest. And here's our hero, Julia. And let's start the story. All right. Julia had many friends in the forest by her house. She climbed trees with Scotty, played hide and seek with Abigail, and had farting contests with Frieda.
Oof.
I know.
Smells funny around here.
Julia dreamed of meeting a bear. She wanted to raft along the river on its belly and have a bear-normous picnic together in the clearing. And of course, she wanted to give it a hug. A bear hug. Oh, she loves bear hugs. But no bear ever showed its snout.
Nope, never.
That's very frustrating when
I
you want a
know.
bear hug and no bear will show its snout.
I know.
Yeah.
Happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I wonder what she's going to do about that. Interesting, she's got a book. And what do you see on the front of her book there?
She's a little obsessed with bears. I won't lie.
I think she is a little obsessed with bears. So one morning, Julia was absorbed in a book. It was about a bear who set off on a long journey to visit a very dear friend. Along the way, this bear felt his stomach rumble. He stopped to sniff through some bushes for a snack. Julia looked up from her book, her eyes shining. She had an idea. What was her idea? Yeah, that's right. She brought honey, which is a bear's favorite snack, and waited for the sweet smell to blow through the trees. Suddenly, there was a loud rustling in the bushes.
Yum, said a voice.
Julia spun around, her heart full of hope. Do you guys think it was the bear? Does that look like the bear? I don't think so. Let's see though.
So?
No, I think it looks like Scotty.
That looks delicious, he said. May I try some?
Julia gave a little sigh and nodded. And still, no bear. The next morning, Julia carried another bear snack into the forest. What do you see there? Yeah, that's right, blueberries. And because bears could play hard to get, she also brought her book. She really loves to read, Julia. She plunged back into the story. The bear was lending a helping paw to an old turtle who was crossing the river. As Julia turned the page, the trees shished. Splack! Julia jumped.
Is that the bear?
You think it's the bear? Let's see.
Check it out.
Next to the overturned basket stood Abigail.
Sorry, Julia. I wasn't looking where I was going. I'm playing hide and seek with Scotty and Frieda.
Abigail helped Julia pick up some of the blueberries, but still no bear. A familiar voice rang faintly through the forest. Julia's mom was calling her for lunch.
See you soon, Abigail, said Julia to her friend.
Do you all notice something that Julia might have forgotten in the
Yeah.
forest? Uh-oh.
She left her book.
I wonder what's going to happen. Well,
See?
a little later, Julia ran back to the forest to get her book. But her book was gone. Instead, on the ground, there was a funny-looking paw print. It was blueberry colored and much bigger than any print she'd ever seen. Her heart did a somersault. Who'd made this? She glanced in every direction. Nobody. But just ahead, another print, blue like the first one, and another, and another. What is that smell? Is that the bear?
Is that you, Andrew?
No, it wasn't me. Let's see. Who could it be?
Oh, makes sense.
Hi, Julia.
Said Frieda.
Ready for a farting contest?
Sorry, Frieda, I can't fart right now. I'm looking for someone.
Who?
That's what I have to find out,
Hey, where are you two going?
said Abigail, scampering over with Scotty. Frieda whispered.
Julia's on someone's trail, but she doesn't know who.
Whose trail could she be on?
No.
Let's find out. The paw prints meandered down a gully, up a hill, around a boulder, and down again to the edge of a stream where they disappeared.
The water must have washed all the blueberry away, said Scotty. Now what do we do? Julia said.
Don't worry,
Said Abigail.
we're hide-and-seek champions.
Frieda sniffed the air.
This way.
Abigail pointed to a gap in some bushes.
Through here.
Okay. Julia crept through the bushes. If you want to help her push some of the branches away from her face, you can help her because she's never been to this part of the forest before. And she crept through the bushes and she emerged near the foot of a very old tree.
Look, said Scotty.
Do you see what's on the tree there?
Yep.
Gigantic claw prints marked a path up the trunk. Julia took a deep breath and grabbed the first branch.
Are you sure you want to go up there?
Frieda said. I'll be careful, said Julia. I'll go with you, said Scotty, just in case.
All right.
Big tree.
Big tree. If you guys want to help Julia, feel free to help her climb as she pulls herself up with a bear-like grunt. Everyone give her a hand. One branch at a time, she clung and clambered her way higher and higher.
You climb as well as a squirrel, said Scotty.
Julia ran into a big, troublesome knot. She tried to scrape and scramble her way around it, but she had no luck. Even Scotty didn't know how to help her. With a huff and a puff, she gathered all her strength for one last try, and this time, everyone help! Oh, and she made it.
Whew, that was tough.
Whew. Oh. At the top of the tree, she collapsed out of breath.
Julia, look, said Scotty.
What do you see there? A house. Nestled among the leaves was a house, its front door slightly ajar. Julia's heart went ba-boom as she took a step forward.
I'll wait for you here, Scotty squeaked. If you need me,
Julia knocked softly. No answer. She knocked loudly. Still no answer. She peeked inside, and what do you think she's going to find?
Yeah.
She looks pretty happy.
Should she go back? We don't know what's in there.
I don't know, but she looks excited. Turns out she sees a bear. On the floor, snoring peacefully, was a bear. And books! From the floor to the ceiling, shelves upon shelves upon shelves of books. And there, spread open on the chest of the bear, her book. Julia's heart soared and fluttered with just a little fear. She was standing in a bear's house, and she hadn't been invited in. But she couldn't leave without her book. She tiptoed towards the bear and delicately lifted her book off his chest.
I'll come back later to introduce myself, she thought.
Wait, said a deep, growly voice. Julia froze.
Uh-oh.
I hope it's a friendly bear.
Yeah, because you never know when you wake a bear up.
No, let's find out. Please wait. Oh, he sounds very friendly. He's saying please. You are most welcome to that book. But first, may I please read the ending? I closed my eyes just before the bear reached his friend. Julia turned around and stared amazed.
That's exactly the part I was reading, she said. But I didn't know bears liked to read.
I love to read, said the bear. I'm always on the lookout for a good book. Juliana, where do you think a bear would get all those books?
Well, I don't think they can go to the library. I mean,
No, I don't know that
people would be scared.
people would be scared. Same thing if they went to the store, but maybe if we turn the page, we'll find out.
Maybe.
Okay. This is interesting. Of course, I only venture into the village when all the people are asleep. The best spot for book scavenging is by the back door of the library. The librarians there are kind enough to leave boxes of old books outside. Oh, the treasures I find as I rummage through them. But today, I found that book right here in the forest. A scent of blueberries tickled my nose and led me straight to it.
It was me who brought those blueberries, said Julia. And I left this book there by accident.
She thought for a moment.
Maybe we could finish reading it together, she said. Oh.
Do you guys think that's a good idea when you both want to share something with someone or you both want something to share it
Yeah,
together? Is that a good
makes
idea?
sense.
Yeah, makes sense? Let's see what the bear thinks. Splendid idea, said the bear. But where are my manners? My name is Bertrand. He held out his paw.
And my name is Julia, said Julia, giving Bertrand's paw a vigorous shake.
She's quite strong, this
Yep.
girl. There's a lovely reading spot out on the porch, said Bertrand. Make yourself at home, and I'll join you in a twinkling. Bertrand carried out 2 bowls of blueberries drizzled with honey. What an intriguing story. The bear journeys such a long way to visit his friend.
Because they're very dear friends, said Julia.
Do you folks think that these two are going to become friends?
That would be possible.
Yeah, they've got a lot in common.
Yeah, they both love to read.
Yeah. Julia and Bertrand savored the end of the book. The trees whooshed gently. The dappled light sweeping around the leaves began to dim. They read the last page. A moment later, Julia's mom's voice echoed through the forest.
Julia.
It was time to go home. Bertrand showed Julia the best route to climb back down. "What a fortunate acquaintance this has been," he said.
How about I bring a new book next time, said Julia. And afterwards, could we raft along the river and go on a picnic?
"Certainly," said Bertrand.
I just have one more question, Julia said.
What do you think her last question is?
What did she want at the beginning?
Yeah, what did she want at the very beginning of the story? Something about...
I remember now.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh, I definitely think it's possible.
This kind of hugs.
Those are the best kind of hugs there is. Well, everyone, thanks for listening to the story of how to catch a bear who loves to read.
And big thanks to Joseph Sherman, who made the beautiful illustrations.
Yep, thanks, Joe. And the book exists as well in French. It's called Comment attraper un ours qui aime lire. For those of you who speak French, you can maybe hear that Juliana is a francophone and I'm an anglophone, and we wrote the books in both languages. So, and if you didn't notice, Bertrand's here. He comes to listen to every story as well. And again, all these other bears. We hope you all keep doing well at home and staying safe and having fun and connecting with your friends and your families, whether it's by the computer like this or at home.
And reading a lot.
And reading a lot, yeah.
And maybe writing stories.
And maybe writing your own stories. All right, thanks everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.